Hello and welcome to Take Time. I'm your host, Patrick Marlett. Here we have a dive watch with a case more akin to a military-issued 50s to early 80s field watch, but with all of the comforts of a modern tool watch. This is the Baltic Aquascaphe. Before we begin the video today, I'd like to mention that this piece was lent in for review, so thank you Team Baltic and Etienne for getting this watch into me for review. Now, as I do with all my reviews here on the channel, I like to start with the bad and then move on to the good before giving my final verdict on review items. So, without further ado, let's talk Aquascaphe. The diameter of the Baltic Aquascaphe is 38mm excluding the crown, and all around to include the bezel, 39mm. It's 47mm from lug end to lug end, and is 12mm thick, featuring a 20mm lug width. The 316L stainless steel case features a screw-down crown at the 3 o'clock position, and inside features a Miyota 9039. Up top we have a vintage-inspired double-dome sapphire crystal with a matching sapphire insert to boot. This was, and I'm quoting here, to give it a modern Bakelite appearance. Well, I think they accomplished that. Now the first bad note I want to mention is in regards to the Bakelite-like sapphire crystal insert. The slight raise of the sapphire bezel insert from the stainless steel bezel feels a bit disjointed from the rest of the design. I would prefer that the crystal sit flush, but luckily it isn't burgeoning from its steel captor. Overall, this is a minor negative note, but it may bother some as much as it bothers me. The dials of both the black silver and, as we have here, black and cream feature a grainy texture. Having taken in all three of these in the past, I wish these were also of a sun ray finish as the blue. That dial is spectacular and easily the standout from this current range. The grainy appearance would have been best suited matte, as its current form detracts your attention in direct light with its odd surface patterning. You have to like grain pattern dials to appreciate this one, so this is a matter of personal preference. But when I see this texture, I can't help but think of the anti-slip coating you might find on the stern of your boat while you're venturing off into the ocean or at the front steps of your workplace. It's very utilitarian, yes, but not my favorite look for a watch dial. The way the end links meet the bracelet are not in particular attractive. I dislike seeing, especially with bead of rice bracelets, rice grains of varying lengths to make up for a design issue. You'll notice that the links that meet the end links are extended. For some, this is only a minor fault, but for me, it ruins the overall aesthetic. I wish this element of the bracelet was completed differently, as otherwise, it would be perfect in my opinion. On a more neutral note, how about those recessed hour indicators at the 3, 6, and 9? Does it strike you as odd not to see the 12 also sunken into the dial? At first, it slightly bothered me, and even now still does. This was a strong design choice you'll either love or hate. But what's your take on it? Now with the Baltic Aquascaphe, we have what I consider to be the perfect scale for a dive watch. Anywhere in the region of 37mm to 40mm in diameter is easily my go-to size for a diver. This fits perfectly within that range and looks rather sharp in its execution. For the money, the case craftsmanship here is far and above my expectations. This watch feels perfectly jewel-like in hand, naturally beautiful. And a large part of that is indebted to the scale and manufacturing of this watch head. The bezel action here is fine for a 120 clicker and average on performance. It's bouncy by way of backplay, but it does land on the minute. Nothing to complain about or write home about. However, the crown action is simply lovely. The Miyota 9039 has one step: time setting. At rest, the watch can be hand wound, and this ritual is immeasurably enjoyable on this piece. I love big old crowns, and the Aquascaphe is not shy in this department. Here we have a large, easy to grip screw-down crown that makes setting the time less a task and more a pleasure. With no crown guards in the way, we can accomplish time setting with perfect ease and be about our day. Love it. The bracelet, if you've never worn a bead of rice bracelet in the past, may change your opinion of all other bracelet types. I understand Etienne went to work designing a bracelet that would fit his entire collection and be not only comfortable on each model, but damned pleasing on the eyes. And Etienne, you did it. Can you make these for all the watches, please? I do like my rice grains all the same size, but this bracelet is as fantastic on the wrist as it is taken in from afar. good work here. However, note the lack of dive extension. For all the wetsuit adverts and so forth, it feels amiss to find this feature lacking, but I believe I speak for most of us in saying we're probably not wearing this diving. But here is the Baltic Aquascaphe on a 7¼ wrist. This is what it'll look like for all of your admirers, and when you are going to look at it, it's going to look a little something like this. To end the video, here are just 3 phrases that describe this watch. Well made, blast from the past, and simply beautiful. If you were looking for a vintage style diver with both modern scale and amenities, look no further. Baltic's Aquascaphe is for you. Again, my name is Patrick Marlett, and thank you for the time.